How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we actually have genuinely interesting news from Pokemon. We got ourselves some trademarks that have been filed, as well as other information. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get started. First things first, we have this post by PokeExperto. PokeExperto is a, I guess you could say, not Japanese, a Spanish-speaking Pokemon fan site, right? They make just posts about Pokemon news and things like that, and they shared a post about something very, very interesting. Apparently, Nintendo, Creatures Inc., which is the company that makes all the 3D models for Pokemon, and Game Freak have registered this trademark in Japan. And the trademark is Battle Scope. Now, here is the actual, the actual logo for it, or not really a logo, but this is the text that's used on the trademark website. So they shared this, and the question, of course, is, what is Battle Scope? This looks a little bit sus. What are they talking about? Well, they continue on and say, as we reported a few days ago, Pokemon Battle Scope, or PBS for short, is a artificial intelligence, so it is an AI, which is always terrifying, which specialized in Pokemon battles, which is developed by, I guess, Pokemon in collaboration with Heroes Company Ltd. So Heroes, if you don't know who they are, I'm going to look up their company right here. They're actually a Japanese game developer as well. I think they mostly worked on like mobile games. They worked on stuff like this game Zenonzard, as well as Shogi Wars, and of course the most dear to my heart, Pokemon Duel, which shut down a long time ago. But basically, they're a studio that makes just different kinds of products, different I guess video games as well as other technologies, so to say. And currently, they are working on AI, right? They're working on a lot of AIs, just like every other company out there. They're currently like pushing really hard on the AI stuff. And basically, according to this AI will help viewers understand what is happening in combat, interpreting player choices and the state of the game, skills, time, field, etc. And if you guys see right here, this is a battle that's taking place, and I guess this AI is basically determining what is happening, who has a higher chance of winning, what abilities are being used and stuff like that. So they've trademarked this, which is a little bit of a weird feature, or weird kind of, I don't even know what you want to call it, a weird thing to create. I'm assuming it might be for competitive, Pokemon, VGC, in terms of like the championships and regionals and stuff like that, to have a sort of layout that can be, automatically with AI determine what's happening in the match. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. I know sports use stuff similar to this. There are like, sports like football, as well as, like basketball, stuff like that, where they have like stats showing up on the screen and it's just kind of, prepared ahead of time. But again, stuff like that, not really sure if that's been done in Pokemon before for competitive, but in terms of this, it is a little bit weird that this would be existing, unless it is for the games. Because keep in mind, Heroes, that company, they have worked on games before. Again, Pokemon Duel. So they have knowledge of that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering if this actual feature will be something that will become present in future Pokemon games, or if this is going to be mainly for competitive battling. However, there is a post down here by I Am Mixmile, who actually is one of our viewers, and he sent me this post saying, wait. Yesterday, this rumor emerged, and in part, it talks about a derivative game by Genius and HAL. Now, of course, he's talking about Genius Sorority and HAL Laboratories. Companies that worked on a lot of different stuff. I think in this case, they worked on the Smash series, for example. But nonetheless, they're the ones from Battle Revolution and Stadium as well. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of them also worked on XT. I'm not sure. XT Gale of Darkness, I think, may have been made by one of them as well. Let's just check the actual... Yeah, Genius Sonority, right? So Genius Sonority made XT Gale of Darkness and Colosseum, if I'm not mistaken. But here's what this rumor actually says. And we have it on 4chan here in case you guys don't believe its existence. I did see, and it's, again, a picture of, I think Ben Affleck just chilling on the beach, which is a little bit weird. I mean, I don't know what to say about this, but nonetheless, here's what the rumor actually says. And in case you don't believe it existing, it does actually exist, and this is a screenshot of it. But here's what it actually goes on and says. Starting off, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet 2024, which is weirdly says Pokemon SV, implying that we're still doing stuff about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But nonetheless, here's where the info actually goes in and says. The Northern Paldea locked map is based on the Basque region, not Kalos. This DLC will become available mid-summer and will revolve around new mythical Pokemon. So the first thing about this has nothing to do, like the first part of the post, has nothing to do with this. Rather, it's suggesting that we're going to get a third, or I guess part 3 DLC coming in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I don't mind, but it would be such a weird curveball if that's what actually ends up happening. Now, people here did actually, go after and say like, hey, this is fake, actually, do you have a link to it? And he did actually provide a link, but I'm not really sure how this connects. Like, when he posted this to me, I'm not sure how these two connect that well. I mean, I know here they're talking about Heroes Company, which is not Genius Sonority or HAL, but it is another company that's working on stuff together with, again, Pokemon and Game Freak and all of them guys over there, which does confirm collaborations between them, but that's kind of something we already would have known. Nonetheless, though, they continue on down the rest of the post and say that apparently this year, there are no new mainline Pokemon games that will be released this year. Instead, there is the overdue return of 2 spin-off games with a large cult following. So, cult following, that can go in a lot of directions. It could be Battle Revolution. It could be, I mean, keep in mind, it could be Battle Revolution. It could be Gale of Darkness. It could be Colosseum. It could be Mystery Dungeon. It could be a lot of options, okay? All these options of spin-off games could happen. And I think it's pretty intriguing to think of the possibility of maybe Gale of Darkness returning, or Colosseum, or even Battle Revolution, dude. A new one would be sick. But again, I don't really know. Nonetheless, though, he says here, apparently Game Freak, Genius Sonority, HAL Laboratories, and ILCA, as well as the Pokemon Company, have been working together for this release. Apparently, all of them have come together for this one, which is a little bit strange. Continuing on, the major announcement for 2024's Pokemon Day, and this apparently is going to be the big thing, which, when I read this the first time, and I've already read this rumor, I was a little bit like, I don't know, Chief, but it basically says that Nintendo Switch Online will start making Pokemon games available, especially the Pokemon Game Boy games, starting with Red, Blue, and Yellow releasing this spring, and then Gold, Silver, Crystal releasing late summer. No updates yet on Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which is the one that most people want. I think majority of people want Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Red, Blue, Yellow, I can live without them. Gold, Silver, Crystal, but Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I think is the biggest one that people want to actually see on Nintendo Switch Online. But they still haven't done it, which is really weird because they can easily port it on there without any issues, but they don't. So I digress. Moving on, though, we get to some of the more basic stuff. Like, for example, aside from this, there will be announcements on Pokemon Cafe Mix or Cafe Remix, right? There's as well as Pokemon Masters EX, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Go, and the official date for the Pokemon World Championship, which according to him is going to be held in Honolulu, Hawaii, which I don't know if that's real. I don't pay attention to Pokemon World Championship. I don't know if that seems realistic or not. I don't know if they actually announced it. Again, I have no idea. But apparently, according to him, it's going to be in Hawaii, which is intriguing. But he says that Honolulu, Hawaii is apparently no coincidence in regards to the World Championship. Apparently, not a coincidence. What does he mean? Well, apparently, in 2025, it's going to be a big year for Pokemon Black and White fans. All right? He says major details have been shared on the upcoming remakes. These games are 75% finished, but have been pushed back, as many other titles for the Switch. Which titles, though? Besides Metroid Prime 4, I can't really think of anything else. One thing, these remakes have a massive redo. Okay, redo in what way? Apparently, content and lore-wise, the Blueberry Academy will return, interesting, rivaling the Pineapple Academy located in Alola, which was founded by the Ether Foundation. Now, this is where this rumor loses me, because this makes no sense. Like, I am so confused. What does Alola have to do? Is that why they're going to be hosting it, like the tournament in Honolulu, Hawaii? Is that why? Is that what he's trying to say? But like, how is this a black and white remake if we're also going to have Alola involved? It seems a little bit out of left field. But then again, keep in mind, they can do whatever they want. They can legitimately change the story at any given moment. They can change up like the logic. They can change up the direction with these games at any given moment. So I don't really know. But according to this, it would be I guess a black and white remake, but it would have some connection to, I guess, Alola. It's a bit weird. Continuing, one thing, these remakes have a massive redo. Content and lore-wise, Blueberry Academy will return, rivaling the Pineapple Academy located in Alola, which was founded by the Ether Foundation. Cool. Moving on. Yes, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company have been working steadily. Generation 10 is in development. Yes, we got hints as to what and where. What and where, I don't know. The only hints that I've seen is stuff about the Netherlands. That's the best, best, I don't know, I guess, suggestion I can give in terms of where it would be based on. Just on stuff we've actually seen in Scarlet and Violet. That's all I know. And again, there are a lot of hints to the Netherlands, and I would honestly not mind it. I would love to go to a region based in the Netherlands. I think it would be pretty cool. Moving on, though, TLK and SR, look them up, are part of the new region and will complete the entire Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh area. This massive game will coincide with Pokemon's 30th anniversary, more to come. Now, this is where he loses me. He says, yes, Game Freak and Pokemon Company have been working steadily on Generation 10, which is in development. Yes, we got hints to what and where. Okay, I get that. But what does he mean by TLK and SR? I am lost. Am I missing some sort of TLK Pokemon? I don't know what that means. I have no context. TLK, what does that mean? Again, if you guys know, please tell me, because I don't get it. Looking it up, literally the only thing I can find is an airport in Siberia in Russia that's called Talakan Airport. That's what I can find. I don't find any other context for it. Looking up SR, the only thing I can think about in terms of SR is I don't know, like SR Japan. Is there like a thing in Japan for that? No, it's a car company, okay? It's again, there's no context for that. I don't know what he means by this. And he says also, are part of this new region. So TLK and SR. Am I missing something? Because it's got to be a reference to some sort of, is it a part of like a previous game? And then he says, are part of this new region will complete the entire Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh area. Only thing I can think of when he says TLK and SR, and when he says Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh, is that those 4 regions are all Japanese ones. So is he trying to like imply that like TLK and SR are something from Japan, actual locations in Japan, like areas in Japan itself, which they will base it on? Is that what he's trying to say? That's where the only thing I can come to conclusion. Like that's the only thing I can even imagine. Everything else doesn't make sense to me. But this part is like, it's the most confusing one. Like, this is the part where I lose it 100%. He says that the game will coincide with Pokemon's 30th anniversary. Now, again, there's been so much talk about the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, and I know a lot of people are trying to say that, hey, we're going to get the games releasing then. We're going to get, like, the games releasing on the 30th anniversary. They're going to skip a year. We're not going to have a new generation in 2025, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which is fine. Very much possibility they could skip a year. Could be this year, could be next year. I don't really know. But, again, I don't think that looking at the anniversary is necessarily mega important because it's not like they've always done that. Like, if we look at, like, let's see, the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, So, like, what came out in the 20th anniversary of Pokemon? Because when they announced that, it was that they were going to release so here it is, right? The 20th anniversary of Pokemon and what actually happened during that period of time. So, the entirety of 2016 was celebrated as the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. February 27th, 2016, marked as the 20th anniversary of the original Japanese release of red and green versions. Therefore, the 20th anniversary of Pokemon Media franchise as a whole, right? Cool. Let's move on. What actually happened during this time? Like, what was the actual, like, what happened? Well, we got the release of Sun and Moon. So, yes, a good kind of game to release around that time. And that time around, they did, okay? So that time around, if we go back in time, that time, they did skip a year. And which year was it? 2015. So would it make sense that a literal decade later, they're going to do the exact same thing in 2025? Wouldn't be too crazy, right? Because 2015 was the 1 year we didn't get a game. But before that, we had literally exactly that going on. We had Pokemon X and Y in 2013, and then 2014, we had Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, finishing things off with no release in 2015, ending Generation 6, and then going straight into the next generation with Sun and Moon in 2016. So there is a chance, but keep in mind, no guarantees. They could still release a game, just, you know, not a very big one. And like he said here in the rumor, it could also literally be just how would you even call it? A bunch of remakes, a cool remix that people really like. But that year, we did get something else that year for the 30th anniversary. So this would imply that the new gen would launch in 2026, which then would make sense that we would have like the re-release of red, green, blue, yellow, etc., like the original games getting a re-release and stuff like that. But again, I don't really know. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. I don't really know where else to take it. I'm losing my mind here trying to think about this. And in terms of like this actual feature here that's being developed by Game Freak, as well as, you know, this company Heroes, it is a bit strange, but it's also curious because I would love to know what it's in regards to, how that feature is going to be used, what the deal is with it. I have no idea what it's going to work like, but nonetheless, it's an intriguing thing to just, you know, have the knowledge of. Either way, though, let's move on to the next thing in this video, which is going to be just some basic updates. For example, the next Japanese Pokemon trading card set is going to be revealed. There's going to be Crimson Haze, releasing on March 22nd, 2024. that's that one. Moving on, we also, by the way, it turns out that he was right. Guess what, guys? He was right. We got a leak from Riddler Coup the other day where he said that Magirna was going to be showing up in Masters EX, and guess what? He was not wrong. They've added in a sync pair, Glide and Magirna. I don't know if this is massive or anything, or if people kind of already knew this in that community, but now it is confirmed. There you go. Moving on, we have another big thing to talk about, which is actually that apparently multiple sources are currently telling, well, just insiders and stuff like that, that apparently Nintendo Switch 2 has been delayed to the first quarter of 2025, which is interesting, okay? Very interesting. According to this, Eurogamer sources now corroborated the earliest reports that the Switch 2, once destined for later release later in 2024, is now set for a Q1 2025 release. The console's launch moving into early next year, but still within the coming financial year, is designed to ensure the Switch 2's launch lineup features as many titles as possible. Eurogamer apparently understands it as that. Separately, VGC, another company, has also now reported on the move to Q1 2025, with publishing sources saying that Nintendo recently briefed the third-party game companies on the move from late 2024 to early 2025, which is, honestly, is that even a big of a deal? Not really. Like, moving it back like a few months, not the end of the world. Nonetheless, though, the thing we all care about is their actual reveal. I think that's the biggest thing that everybody's waiting for. Now, I don't think really people care about any of the other stuff. It's just like, when is this thing going to be shown? When are we going to get to see it? And that's still up for debate. We've seen Centro saying that apparently, according to Pioro, now Pioro is an actual leaker, okay? And he's been right about, I would say, 70% of the time he's been correct. Now, sometimes he gets it wrong, but I don't think you get to about 80,000 followers on Twitter without people trusting your word to some level, right? And what he basically tweeted was, here, Act 2 Rebirth next week. And then we also have had, of course, Centro confirming that the Partner Showcase Direct is actually next week. And that's pretty much all we got out of this one. And yeah, it's a bit weird. Again, it's a bit odd. I'm not going to lie. It's just, it's just really, really strange, man. But basically, this guy's a legit leaker. He has his little penguin picture, and he's been pointing towards, I guess, a direct happening this coming week. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. That's all we can do. There's not else we can do about it. And he also did point out here that it looks like other leakers were mostly right. The format was the correct one. The slight date change like this from one week to another are normal and can happen after their sources get information, which is true. Again, if it doesn't happen next week, though, I think it's going to be a trouble for all these leakers, man. It's going to be a problem for Pioro. It's going to be a problem for Necrofelipe. It's going to be a problem for a lot of these leaker people, because then that means that their information has been incorrect again. And that would be, that would stink. That would really sting. Because I like these leaker people. I like getting Pokemon leaks. I like getting Nintendo leaks. I like Pokemon, Nintendo, and video game leaks, all right? It's something I enjoy. I don't know everybody's a big fan of it, but I personally enjoy it. Nonetheless, though, guys, where does this leave us with right now? Well, basically, Pokemon Day is almost here. It's currently the 17th today, so there's exactly 10 days until the 27th, which is Pokemon Day, and most likely the day when we'll get the Pokemon presentation, Pokemon Presents. They don't call them Pokemon Directs anymore, but nonetheless, that's the day we're going to be receiving it, so it's not too far to go now. Just 10 more days, and it's going to be time. However, I should point something else out, which is that, of course, if there is a Nintendo Direct this coming week, it's probably not going to be an actual big Nintendo Direct showing off new massive games. It's going to be a partner showcase, aka indie games and third-party titles. So nothing major from Nintendo themselves, rather just the side stuff. And also, the other rumor was that apparently next month in March is going to be the actual reveal of the brand new Switch console. Again, that's all rumors. Don't take it as actually being facts. The only thing you can take it as a fact is literally this right here, that the battle scope is an actual thing. It's the only thing you can take it as a legit thing, only thing you can look at and be like, yes, good sir, this is a real thing. This is the only thing that's real, and we don't even know exactly what the hell it is. It's just an AI that apparently is used for battles. I don't know if it connects well to this rumor. I'd love to, just know your guys' thoughts and opinions on it in the comment section down below, because I don't know what to think about it. And that pretty much is where this video is going to end. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye.